Okay, hi, my name is Mrs. Sardina, and today we're going to review the phases of the moon. I would like to thank you very much for coming to my YouTube, and please feel free if you have any questions to ask me. We're going to start off first with the moon rotations. The moon goes around the earth as the earth goes around the sun. It takes approximately a month or a month for the moon to complete one orbit around the sun. The moon does not give off any of its own light. The light you see from the moon is reflected light from the sun. When you have the moon lined up like this is the sun, the moon, and the earth. When you are on earth, you are not going to see the moon because the moon is unable to reflect any of the light from the sun back to the earth. As the moon goes around the earth, you see more and more of the reflected moonlight. The way to remember it is the following. If you have your right hand up, that's wax on. If you have your left hand up, that is wax on. Wax on, wax on, wax off. So if you see the right hand side of the moon lit up, the moon's going to get greater. When you see the left hand side of the moon lit up, it's going to get less. And if you look at your hands, your hand makes an L, which makes it less. Now, the moon goes around like this. If you have it lined up here, you have the sun, the earth, and the moon. The moon does not give any of its own sunlight, again, as I said earlier. When you have the moon like this is a full moon. The sun is reflecting the light onto the moon and it's going back to the earth. As you go around like this, the moon is now getting less until you have a new moon again. Now I have another display to show you, just in case you had trouble seeing this. So here we go again with our moon. Well, this time, let me just change it up a little bit, just so that, again, to make sure that you understand the concept. Sun, moon, earth. The moon goes around the earth. Right here, this is the sun, the moon, and the earth. This is a new moon. Because again, the light's not reflected off. As it goes around, the moon's getting larger and larger. It's called waxing. This is first quarter. This is a full moon. This is third quarter. And this is a new moon. So if you come right over here and look at this diagram here, this shows, again, full moon. It's the right hand side is getting greater, and it's getting less. And here we go again with the rotations around the planet Earth. One question a lot of students have sometimes is, why don't we always have eclipses all the time? Okay, the reason we don't always have eclipses is the following. Now, the orbit is like a hula hoop insofar as it doesn't go straight across. So please excuse me because it's kind of hard with all these winter clothes to do the hula hoop. But it rotates. That was bad. It rotates around like this, okay? So sometimes the moon is up, sometimes the moon is down. It's only when it lines up in a straight line do you have an eclipse. This would be a solar eclipse. You have the sun, the moon, and the earth, and this would be in a straight line. When it comes over like this, again, it's a straight line. Again, this is a lunar eclipse. Now, one more thing to remember. When you go to the ocean and you see the high and the low tides are caused by the sun and from the moon. When you have it lined up like this, This is pulling the earth. So it's being pulled towards the sun and towards the moon, and it's pulling the earth, okay? That is why you have a high tide on this side, and this is called a spring tide, because they're both pulling, the water is springing up. It's not due to the season of the year, it is due to the water springing up. This would be a neap tide, when the sun, the earth, and the moon is at right angles, or when it's like this. So the two forces somewhat cancel each other out. It's very important that you understand the phases of the moon before you can understand any of the other functions as far as eclipses and tides. Thank you.